Hello, my name is Shirley Self, and I'm here to talk astrology. In my discussion of the vision of William Butler Yeats, The Journey of the Soul, I've come to moon phase 26. Now you'll find moon phase 26 between, the moon has traveled at least 321 degrees and 26 minutes past the sun to 334 minutes past the sun. Or you can just say it's just right in the middle here is 30 degrees, the semisextile, before the new moon. So that's how you find moon phase 26, the hunchback. Yeats calls the hunchback a soul on the storm-beaten threshold of sanctity. And that's what these people are over here after. They're here to, they built the grail, they're here to fill it. Sanctity. Spiritual muscle. Put on the skeleton of the intellect. Spiritual muscle. So moon phase 25 embodied the power that had been earned in this journey around the cycle. And moon phase 26 embodies the weakness. Moon phase 26 is a manifestation of your fate, your body of fate, your karma. A manifestation of your karma. It's the first, these three phases, these are the triad of retribution. But you should, even these two, 26 and 27, have stars there, which means that you're obliged to experience those phases. Always before, you were obliged to experience it in a body. Here, it's earth involved, as in, here's where, these are the Merlin phases, and here's where Merlin is entombed. He falls in love with an inappropriate partner, and she locks him away in a tomb underground. And that's kind of what it feels like, I think, for a moon phase 26, especially those who are exceptionally burdened by their karma. So, so moon phase 26 and 27, I do not understand how a soul can become a guardian of a well, or but these people are guardians of the earth here, and guardians of the mind here, of the collective mind. These not embodied, but so anyway, the ones that you know are here are the ones who still have things to learn about Earth. And that is what they have to learn about Earth, is that Earth is spirit too. There isn't anything but spirit. That's all there is. It's all God. The good, the bad, the shit, the heaven, all God. And these people have to, until they learn that, they will have to incarnate. So those among us are special. They're here learning that we're all God, that everything's God. And knowing that. So these people have been used up. Here we've used up all remember these wisdom of desire? No desire left. It's all used up. Nothing to motivate them into no further goal. Nothing needs done. Work's all done. There's no desire for anything until the only desire left that's important to them, spiritual desire. And that desire is the highest goal of the sun. The sun in your chart has two goals. The low goal is survival and be happy. That's the low goal. And the high goal is to be of service to the world. And that's where that goal becomes conscious. And that is the only desire left available to moon phase 26. What can masquerade for them as desire are simply habits, habits of wanting power. These are powerful people, trust me. But the habits of wanting personal power, of habits of believing odd stuff over here, habits of where am I going to find your Sagittarius? Oh, here it is. Habits of believing over here in the mask. Habits. Anyway, all those old habits, they're illusions that they can do well without. Illusions over here. They're moved into the Pisces Dwad of Pisces Decadent, sorry. The Dwads are different. They're interesting, though. You should pay attention to Dwads, which are divisions of each zodiacal sign has got the whole zodiac in it, and each of those, so each 2.5 degrees of a sign has a different sign cast to it, and they're very they give it a lot of nuance. And so anyway, that I diversed about Dwads. So let's get back to decadence. We're here in the Pisces Decadent of Pisces, an illusion. These people are reluctant to give up their illusions because that's all they have until they discover that only motivation left available, spiritual motivation, spiritual desire. So these people are lonely. I mean, they're set apart by quality, and whatever their quality is, it sets them apart. They stand alone in a crowd. So, and because the only desire left available to them is spiritual desire, the only relationship connection that is real to them anymore is a spiritual connection. So, these powerful people will carry a burden. Remember, this is the karmic retribution. And that burden, they will be burdened to the extent that they still have those personal ambitions, for power mostly. But, to power for all sorts of things, to be creative, whatever. Their power is great, but they need all the power they've got to accomplish their own redemption. The potential here is huge. Huge. Look how big this rectangle is. It's as big as we got. And they're so the faster they get on to owning that power and giving up those illusions, the more they can get on to expanding the potential. Virtually, these people are the loins. 25 and 26 are the creators of the spiritual power of the next, the new will of the next moon cycle. That's these. Yeats calls them the loins. That's where, and so, as these people do their work, which is an inner work, a work of understanding. As these people do their work, they increase the power of the coming will, increase his potential of the coming moon cycle. So these people are only incarnating in order to recognize that the physical is spiritual. That's Okay, 27 will only incarnate if it still needs to find the center of itself in this spinning chaos of spirit. Hopefully they realize it's spirit. They need to find a center of themselves in this, how they are. Well, you are the center of your world. You are the center of your world. And you create your world out of the energies that move through you, that are yours. You create your world out of those energies as you move through your world. And so moon phase 27 is capable of knowing that on a conscious level. Moon phase 26 clears away all the darkness so that that center can be clearly perceived. This is a life of a purge of illusion and of guilt and a growing clarity of perception. These people own the orb of dominion. It's right there. They're right there. And all I have to do is a lifetime of clearing away that illusion so that is a laser up there. They have that capacity. Clarity is their key word. Okay. And this karmic phase here, 26, Yeats says you only have to live it once. If there's no way to do it wrong. Persevere, because the perseverance just magnifies the potential of the coming cycle. It's do it for your future, and do it for the future of the world as it is now, because these people are powerful people. Their clarity and understanding is tremendous. So if they are brave enough and together enough to speak out, it's worth listening to them. It's worth listening to them. Their burdens are totally due to lack of use of the power over here, or the misuse of the power here. These people were extraordinarily powerful, and they use their energy out in the world, and 26 has to pay for anybody they trampled over. So, what else? For a lot of moon phase, I'm going to give you a list of moon phase 26, and they'll blow your socks off because they're wonderful people. I'm going to show you a horoscope of Bette Midler. Anyway, their life can be really heavy. Their life can be really heavy. I also know, I know a lot of moon phase 26, and I don't really know why I know so many. But I know several are institutionalized because their burdens are so heavy they can't take care of themselves, or have just given up. That's also an option. Of just giving up and dropping into the hands of whoever will take them. Understand that their mask over here, which they should fully own, that is the light in the body, their mask over there is called search. And the more they search for the success, and their success is this inner work, this inner growth of understanding, this inner growth of a capacity to be with people, to understand. I don't know how to explain this. I did this one time. I've done this several times, and I think it's just simply, I've got a Venus in Pisces, and it's on Pisces on the cusp of my third house. And so I can remember one time seeing a deer over in the field and wondering how that deer felt. And suddenly I knew how that deer felt. And the tremendous expansiveness of that deer's perception was, I mean, it still gives me goosebumps to even remember how it felt for just a split second, not even a second, that felt to be that deer. These people can do that all the time. They can feel you. They can feel you. This is the beginning of the sin eaters. These people can feel you so deeply and so completely that they can pull away your wound, your sin, your failure, and into their own heart, burn up that nasty energy and release it new and clean and clear into the world. Relieve you of it. They have the capacity to do that. They're the sin eaters. There's a talent. They have the talent for it, and it behooves them to know they have this talent, so that they deliberately do what they have to do anyway. Because just moseying through the world, they will pick up stuff They will pick up stuff from other people. And know that they have the power to burn that away. To the minute they notice that other person hurting, love that person. Feel that love in your heart. And that's how you do Tonglen. People over here, we tend to do that thing inadvertently. And it doesn't do us any good. It makes us sick, actually. So if we want to do that, we need to learn that technique called Tonglen, which is to sit, immerse yourself in the heart of love, and in that loving state, to focus on that other person's wound, or wound that you simply feel in the world that is important to you. Focus on that wound and use your breath to bring it into the heart and out, in and out, in and out. That's Tonglen, and it purges the world of pain. And so if you're the kind of empath that people are over here, it's wise to learn to do that. It actually, you're doing something for the world, and it makes you feel a hell of a lot better about it too. It's good for out there, and it's really good for in here. So that's Tonglen, and so that their inner work is virtually a realization and an acknowledgement of the debt due. They need to know that they are responsible for themselves, that they are who they are because of what they did in former lifetimes. They are responsible for themselves, for their condition. They can see, they have such clarity, they can see every act that they do. They know where it came from. Every act that you do, they can see and know where it came from. They, as they accept responsibility for their karmic condition, they are beginning the healing and beginning to clear that fog from the orb of dominion up there. If they try to avoid this, if they try to avoid this inner work, they become exceedingly bitter, and they'll become even more lonely and lose whatever connection they have with other people. They'll compensate. They'll pretend that they have feelings. They'll pretend that they have a personality, and they'll do this for their own good, so that they'll make themselves believe that they're okay. They're okay. They can fit in. Just work a little harder at it. They still yearn to be creative, but they tend to be imitative until they can learn to be descriptive. These people can be incredible artists, but they are descriptive artists. Anyway, if you can't do that inner work, and if you can't start clearing up that the orb of dominion, and you see everything through your fog, you're going to be alienated, you're going to be jealous, and you're going to be a prisoner of that no longer knowing what it's doing mind. You become malicious, cruel, sadistic. All these people have an innate distrust of consensus. Consensus is kind of over here. And these people are over here to break consensus, to break it up, because so much of consensus is destructive to your own freedom and creativity. So, so there's the search here is for their own truth. And they're also searching to commonality. They're trying to rejoin humanity here. And so they'll share those basic experiences. What's important to these people is the rituals around birth and death, and going to concerts and being with people, especially in important moments, the 4th of July or Christmas, or those are those connections that Moon Phase 26 especially enjoys. They live right now. They live in the moment. And they can experience that oneness with people when they're in crowds with people doing the ritual thing. I'm so tempted to quit, so many of them. Okay. Now, understand, you still got this logical mind, which is madly, you know, it's just like you take a crab out of water, you know, and it's still going. It's still going. You lift up the turtle, it's still going. It's still, this mind is still going. This mind is still going. And so the mind will still yearn. It's being forced to make a spiritual connection that it doesn't trust, doesn't understand, doesn't trust. So what the logical mind has to do is to develop that conscious unity of virtual physical reality, its own physical reality, and that conscious unity of one's own spiritual, physical reality, means that you will understand. You will understand the spirit of everything else. Everything is spirit. Watch it roll. They need to, virtually they need to see the source, to seek out the source of physical reality. It's a conscious unity with all things. It's a conscious unity with all things. And it's this source, the source of everything, is experienced as self-realization. Self-realization. Now understand that what comes with that self-realization is this terrible, terrible judgment upon himself. And we're come to the point where you can only grow in understanding. You can only grow in the potential for this new will. But you cannot, you can't play, there's no penance to pay. No compensation that can be made. Every act now, judged on its own merits, every act. So what these people need is acceptance and perseverance. No other phase has this clarity. They can see painful truths. They can see motivation. They see themselves in others. That's the Pisces. They see through action into character. They know what's behind what you do. And they can only comment. They have an incredible sense of the absurd. They have a wicked sense of humor. Think Bette Midler here. They're forthright. They're outrageous. And they sneer at pretense, at hypocrisy, and at bombast. That's what they're supposed to do over here. They're supposed to say, no, that's not true. That's not true. The king obviously has no clothes. So, only they would say it funnier than that. Yeah, they would. They understand, their art, they do have an art. It's commentary. It's description. It's information concerning the nature of reality. And it's prophecy. They live to push the frontiers of human capacity. All of this quarter does. Think of the craftsman and the perfection that he brings into the world, the challenge that he brings into the world to live up to his standards. Oh my God. So, and we got Gandhi, George Washington, oh my. So we've got the capacity to push the frontiers of human capacity. And it seems that since 2012, we have been pushing the frontiers of human capacity. I watched Simone Biles. Have you ever seen such perfection? Such perfection? Oh my God. Huh. And these people do it because they can. And because they have seen, because they can see, they don't fear death and they don't fear pain. Okay? Perseverance furthers, repairs the damage, exalts the soul. I've got a quote from Yeats here that I love, that's appropriate to this. I am content to follow to its source every event in action or in thought. Measure the lot, forgive myself the lot, and when such as I cast out remorse, so great as sweetness flows into the breast, we must laugh and we must sing. For we are blessed by everything, and everything we look upon is blessed. And that's Moon Phase 26. in a nutshell, in a poem. Only part of a poem. So, who do we have at moon phase? Oh, I should show you the cards. Now, this is the moon phase of 26, the Emperor, the Son of the Morning. Remember, the Sun is exalted in Aries, and this is an Aries card. It's a window. It's sight. It is the orb of dominion. Now, he's holding it in his hand, but trust me, these people hold it in their mind. The orb of dominion. Understand, the orb of dominion is totally connected to the heart. Totally. So, a search for spiritual understanding. A search for spiritual understanding. Remember, this card, if you remember, connects you with your virtually who you're to become, your blueprint, your celestial body. So that's the ram, and it's Crowley. He says, use your life force to your own purposes. Use your life force. And the purpose of moon phase 26 is commentary. Commentary. And here's the card for 4 and 18. I know I badmouth them a lot. Look at the card. Look at the card. That is, if you want it, you've got to go after it. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. That card, that's a card of conflict. That's Mars right there. And that's the mouth. These people also have to speak up. Speak up. Why? Because they have moon phase 26 and connected to them, deeply connected to them, one of their faculties. And that clarity of 26 is quite awesome. Quite awesome. So, who do we have for moon phase 26? Let's see. Jeb Bush. I wonder about that boy. Charles Darwin. Now, what did he saw so clearly. Saw so clearly. And I could say that about Mia Farrow, too. Pancho Villa. I don't know anything except his heroic myth. Pancho Villa. When I was a kid, we used to pretend to be Pancho Villa. Attack New Mexico. Let's go. Okay. And Manly Palmer Hall. You've seen my mandala. My favorite mandala is the one that was brought to us. Not Manly just brought it to us, and that's what the fire quarter does. It brings us stuff we shouldn't lose. It says it goes into the past and pulls it forward and says, "Notice this." And I appreciate him. Khalil Gibran, Bruce Lee, Ted Turner, and Abraham Lincoln. Bless his heart. Okay, here we have, she's about my moon phase 26, 26, Bette Midler. Bette Midler was born 1st of December in 1945 at 2:19 p.m. in Honolulu. And wouldn't you believe it? Grand Trine in fire. Look at that. Beautiful chart. Beautiful chart. So it's a bowl. This is a bowl formation, and that Uranus and Gemini, yes, wouldn't you believe it, is her leading planet. It's on the cusp of the third house, and it's really important to her. It's really important to her. She's so beautifully profane. I love her so much. All that Scorpio she's got in there, moon in Scorpio. So her ascendant is ruled by Mars, which is ruled by the Sun, which is ruled by Jupiter, which is ruled by Venus, which is ruled by Mars. This is an incredible versatility. Incredible versatility. At the midheaven is ruled by Saturn, which is ruled by Moon, which is ruled by Mars. I don't really know too much about. She's got a septile. Her Sun has a septile to Jupiter. Her Sun to Jupiter, right over that 7th, 8th house there. I don't know what that means, but it's an effect to the future. It's riding at the and the curl of the wave of the future. And I can see her riding a wave. I really admire this woman. She's got, so you notice the semisectile between the sun and the moon there. She's got, I've lost sight of her creative genius is down there in the 3rd, wouldn't you believe it? Which puts her body of fate up there as up by the south node. So I understand that the body of fate is not a bad news to those phases on the solar side, on the left side of the cycle. They're only bad news to the ones on the lunar side who have to get over something. This leading Uranus in Midler's chart is got a biquintile to the moon. The sun is really busy here. It's semisextile the moon. That's how you find the moon phase. It's sextile Mercury. It's trine Mars. It's opposing Uranus. And what's interesting, I noticed that Uranus is close to its north node. The north node of Uranus is at 14 Gemini. And it's on her 3rd house of her vision. So clarity and comedy, that's her mask. Her mask. And her body of fate, oh, talk about raw material. Her body of fate is at Scorpio, Pisces. Let me put it back up here. Okay, body of fate over here, and Bette Midler use it to really good effect, don't you think? Anyway, the 26 karmic. It seems when all the cycle, it's Yeats talks about the misuse of sex, and up here it became kind of apparent, when 21 found itself to be so perfect that it had to do something naughty, so it chose to it chose sex as its mission in life. It is its mission in life. These people need good sex, but power and sex don't mix. Power needs to be like this, so it works well. These people use their power for sex, and I have known. I have a relative that destroyed both of his granddaughters by sexually abusing them from the age of 2. So sex is a real issue with moon phase 26. I know of many men. I don't know how women seem to deal so much better with 26 than men do, and it could be just a cultural thing. I don't know, because I don't know as many women 26 as I do men for some reason, and the men all have sexual issues, and some of them, watch out for them, ladies and men and children, watch out for them. 26 is gotten really powerful. They're really powerful people, and they're playing out their karma, and only have to do it this one lifetime. Next lifetime they get to be 27, the saint. Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow about the saint. Until then, I pray that life kisses you on the cheek, both sides. Bye-bye.